How's everybody doing today? Alfred Flores, CEO, President of New Age Electric. Today we're gonna continue on with another tutorial on LiveCount Desktop, and this time we are going to learn how to print our takeoff so we can hand it to the field or the project manager, or maybe there's like a GM that wants to take a look and go over the foreman wants to take a look how you laid it out, you know, what he's up against, whatnot. And most companies should be already doing this. If not, I highly suggest it. Always print off. The estimator should always print off his takeoff. He wants to hand it over to the GF or the foreman, and the foreman needs to know how you took this off. If anything looks funny, if there was a feeder that was, you got to let this guy know what he's up against, and that will give him a really great advantage when he's back in the field again, because he got all his notes on there. He already knows. And then when he takes those field conditions versus how you took it off, it's going to be great feedback when the job is done, and you kind of take a look at how you did on the hours, and versus you got to take this away from the change orders. You got to see what you had built into the base versus your change orders, and that way you can really see if you had a really good accurate takeoff. So we're gonna jump right into it. If it looks really familiar, this is the last one we did, and the last one was basically taking off branch and feeders, and for this purpose I'm going to change this line back to a solid line so you can see how it looks when you do a PDF. So we're going to make this like a different color, and then we're going to change it back to a solid line, and then we're going to hit OK. So everything's back solid. And now what I do, and it's totally up to you, but it's to show the foreman, how many pipes you had, how you took this off. It's going to be great. He's going to feel a whole lot more confident about taking this job, because in past experience, they're going to look at the hours, they're going to look at that floor plan, and they're going to start doubting that they can finish the job. And a real good foreman is going to take that to heart, meaning that if he fails, he feels like he failed the company, and you don't want to give him that going into a job. And that's because of his judgment versus on other jobs and whatnot. That's my preference of what I've seen in previous companies that I worked at. So there's a thing called Drawing Legend, and here's how to access this. There is a view, and towards the bottom you're going to see a Drawing Legend. Once you do that, it's going to tell you every single thing you've got on this job. I got 59 duplexes, 11 USBs, I have one conduit, I got multiple data drops, I got a feeder, and I got some miscellaneous wiring device count. I don't know, it's from the previous tutorial, could be anything. You can move this anywhere you want. This is dictated on the scale of the drawing, so that if it's a 3/16 scale, it's going to do a 3/16 scale. That text is still visible. Well, not visible per se. The height is still readable when it's printed out. So you can move this anywhere you want. It's an awesome feature, and it ensures that your foreman is not going to have that doubt when he goes into the field and he looks at those hours, and he's going to say, there's no way we could do this job for that many hours. But if you show him how you took it off, you show him that you picked up everything, you might be like, okay, well, wow, it looks like you got everything here. Great feature. So we're going to stick to it. So let's drag this where it's not going to be in the way of the drawing. So we got this whole empty space here, so we'll put it somewhere right here. And this can get really long. I mean, I've had a job where this was all the way down to here, and because it didn't fit, it carried over to another one. So unfortunately, you can't shrink this from my knowledge, and what happens is it might start eating up some text on the side. I would just kind of shift this over, and if you need to take up another 2 rows, this this is going to be reference guide for the foreman, and he's going to have a clean set of this anyway. So if you're going to block out some notes, it shouldn't be a big deal because he's going to have his own clean set anyway. He's going to do his own layout. This is not for him to mimic what you're doing. This is you did it. You got to understand, you're doing this in less than 2 weeks. You know, usually multi-million-dollar jobs, they're probably giving you less than 10 working days to put it all together, from my previous experience. So yeah, so keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to keep this here, and we're going to go File and Print. Now, it's really confusing because every time you pop this up, it's always going to say like letter 8.5 by 11. You're going to have a printer. It could be your plotter, your basic printer that does 8.5 by 11 up until like 11 by 13, and then you might have some a different plotter. Wherever the case may be, you have to browse to that location and then change all the paper sizes. So we know that this drawing is a 30 by 42. And when you hit browse, we have to choose the printer, and then you can in your computer, let it be Windows or whatnot, you can set this by default so that it's always there, and you just have to come in here and then select the paper size. So in this case, I don't own a plotter. I just own QPDF Writer is a simple free PDF converter. So I'm gonna hit Properties, and then we're gonna hit Advanced, and then you always want to make sure this is set to color. If you're gonna print in color, it might be easier for him to read it. Hit Advanced, and then you're gonna have this paper output. Drop down that box, and you should have almost every size available here. And in this case, a 30 by 42, I think it's an Arc E. And hit OK. No, it might be Arc E1. Let me double check that again. And I'll explain why I'm looking, because it's been a while since I memorized. Okay, so you're gonna see that it fills up this paper, and then those boxes, what those boxes meant that it's gonna take like 15 8.5 by 11s to complete that because of the paper output that was defaulted on my computer. So once this is all set up, you shouldn't have nothing. It's perfectly sized to the print image area. You're going to make sure you're keeping the original size. If you want to put a warning on, you can put a warning on. Print measurements and annotations only, not the drawing. Basically, you can print out all your line work, your counts, and I don't know, maybe do an overlay. I really don't use this option. And then bypass printer driver not recommended. I would uncheck that. And pretty much you're good to go. You're only gonna print this sheet out. There is a batch print, and I'm gonna save that for another video. And we're gonna hit OK. And my end, this might take a little bit longer because QPDF is a free software. So I'm gonna pause it and wait till it's done, and then we'll show you how it looks. Okay, so there is technical difficulties with the print to PDF. I cannot for the life get the QPDF printer to work, so I had to use the export to Microsoft PDF, and it doesn't have that size. But I'm going to show you how it's supposed to look in the end. And like I said, this is like a smaller paper, so all the line weights are looking very clunky looking. So this is like like an 8.5 by 11 just shrunk down, so the line weights are going to look pretty horrible. But if this was printed correctly, you're going to see the line weights will be a lot thicker. You know, the receptacles wouldn't look so clunky looking. And the cool part is, like I said, you have your legend on. Whoops. Oh, well, here we go. It's going to make a liar out of me right when I'm trying to finish. So let's see how this looks. Let's just call it E1.1, and then we'll save it on the desktop and save so you guys could see what I'm doing. Let me pause and let me grab this really quick. Let me see. Let me hit File, Open, and then it should be this one. No, it's the other one, E1.1. And that's not opening. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're back on track again. So, paper is true to size. Line weights are a lot better. They are thick. And in our previous tutorial, I had mentioned that when you print, there was a section inside the LiveCount. And when you go to... I'm going to go back to LiveCount real quick and show you. And Trimble still owes me a phone call on this one. There is the admin, user preferences. Where am I at? Printing. There's this option where it's adjust the trays line width for the printer resolution, and it's checked. So it's automatically doing it for you. But if you uncheck this, you're able to kind of mess with the line weights, but it just doesn't go through all the way. So once I get that confirmed with Trimble, I'm gonna redo this video to show you how to adjust this. So I'm gonna go back into this PDF really quick. You do see also the receptacles, the transparency, they're like solid, so it doesn't keep that as well. But I think the main thing here is you want to show the foreman that you took it off, you did all your circuiting right. He's going to look at this and he's going to be like, oh, okay, you got, you know, in this case, I only have one conduit, 1, 3, and 5. You know, I might have like 50 home runs, and he takes a look and, that's 50, and you got 6 panels, and he says, okay, well, that's smart enough a home run. So it looks like you got that taken off. Those are his devices. You could use that for a reference. So it's anything you called out, highlight it too. So if you thought, this was important, you could still see this. Anything you might, the text too, if you happen to put text on here and say, keeping, let's say this A panel, keep in mind A panel is to be reused and relocated. So you could put little notes like that so he's aware, and you kind of give him a more quicker, I don't want to say quicker, but a better understanding of the job before he actually sits there and takes it all in and see what it's going to take to get this complete. I absolutely love this. We started doing this years ago, and we started giving PDFs to the guys, and we'll probably just convert them to TIFFs. It's a little bit easier to flow through them on like a tablet. And they like it. They see that there was a thought process to this, and it gives them that warm, comfy feeling going into the job that at least somebody did it like they did it, and then they're not going to get yelled at or worry that they're going to get a call and say, you're not meeting the hours and anything that could happen in the field. So I love this. This is a great feature. When I get this fixed with the line weights and talk to them about maybe how to get this kind of transparent too to match how in LiveCount actually shows it, I'm gonna do another video on that, how to fix that. Once again, Alfred Flores, New Age Electric. Any questions, comments, drop them below. And I want to give everybody a little update. I am going to start doing lighting controls, and this is going to be very unique when it comes to presenting this. We are going to show you live demonstrations of a lighting control system, and I'm going to start off with the Lutron Pico, how to wire that up with the power, how to sync it to a power pack and to the power pack wire to the fixture. And then after that, we're going to jump into Accubid. We're going to build it in Accubid, and we're going to open up the box to the contents. We're going to show you what it is, and you're going to build it in Accubid, and then we're going to take it off in LiveCount. So we're going to, this is almost like a cradle to grave type of thing, where we're going to install it, put it in Accubid, and then take it off. So we're going to give this a demonstration to our clients, and this is the way that New Age does it. We are giving you an accurate best bid that we can give you, and we're not trying to cut any corners. We're telling you that we understand the product that we're installing, and like I said in the beginning, we're all here to make money. We understand there's numerous electrical contractors in this field. It's very competitive right now. So yeah, keep a lookout for this one. This is something very unique, and I'm highly excited. I just need a little bit more time to gather all the stuff first, and we'll be demonstrating that. So keep an eye out for the new videos. I'm excited, and I'll see you again.